just type in all capitals so we know you mean something. Those of you who are mad because I know how to post in the Dalton Politics group and turn off my comments, and no, it's not a fake bot. Just like Jedediah Brown and Nikita Cloud got several Facebook accounts, I have a right to have several Facebook accounts too. And I'm not hiding behind none of them. Take a look, bitch. Y'all just don't want nobody to be able to protect themselves from your harassment. You don't like that. You have to be seen. You have to do something that's big and extra, like wave at the elders at Burgundy Blues house. I wish a nigga would. I wave right back at you, bitch. You better duck, ho. Because we waving. As Jacques Cousteau, when he went on up to St. Easter Island, I believe that's what, North Sentinel Island, thank you. Jacques Cousteau went over to North Sentinel Island, and as his boat got close to the island, they started waving at him too with some motherfucking spears. She is underhanded. She don't give a fuck about nobody. She just wants control. You see, well, James. But I guarantee you, Dalton Politics Group and those that Howard Smith guy and Nikki Martinez Hayes and Bella Marie, you people who talk so much in the Dalton Politics Group but are never at any meetings, which lets me know it's a fake account. Because how do you know so much but you ain't never there? And don't none of y'all live in Dalton? All of y'all live in Calumet City? Every last one of y'all? Ooh, it's so funny. When it all comes out, Lord, Discovery is a bitch. But anyway, I want y'all to see the impact of what it looks like to actually detach and lead. I've run these actions before too, and they are impactful because I want you to watch what happens when these trustees have gotten up and walked out. When the room clears and you see Tiffany Henyard's face, she can't stand not having this attention. This is what she needs. But Mary ain't gonna tell you to do that because she really do want y'all to put on the show. Because it's all about her. Because if y'all got up and walked out, then she can't direct nothing. She can't get up and move around and be the boss of nothing. The only reason Jason House let her be on the advisory board is so she shut the fuck up. Every single time she talked to the trustees about something, she got to tell you she was the one that did it. Y'all see, y'all know. I don't know why y'all scared of that bitch. She gonna be. The trustees have adjourned the meeting and they have left. So now at this point, is this a legal meeting or an illegal meeting or an illegal meeting? Which one is it? This was July 5th, 2022, Mortgage Girl. This is now a secret squirrel. I can't even say it right. A secret squirrel meeting. It is an illegal meeting. It is absolutely pitiful and illegal. This is an illegal. Well, let me go ahead and offer this too. Every single meeting they've had at this point is illegal because when we looked at the meeting minutes, there are no meeting minutes, no agendas for the entire term that includes Tiffany Henyard. And many of Riley Rogers' meeting minutes are missing as well. So all these meetings are illegal. Just wanted to share that. Illegal meeting, and she will. Now, the attorney is going to give her some raggedy ass advice because he wants to help
being up and coming.
He's going to tell her continue with public comment. They can't vote on anything but skibbly blue
community. So that's all I have for Mayor's report. I just wanted you guys to know what my vision was for the village. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything for you.
Now, before we get to citizens' address, the last thing that I did want to announce was the thing that everybody's talking about and asking me about, which is the recall. First and foremost, I am still your mayor. I am going to keep my seat. I'm going to obtain my seat. What the Board of Trustees tried to do is try to remove me from office because I would not play politics here in the village of Dalton. I cannot be bought. I cannot be bossed and I won't stand down to people that try to bully me. I am a single young Black woman, and I have to fight this wonderful fight of politics, unfortunately, to make sure that I keep respect within my community that is losing this ground. When I said that, when I took over, it was so much corruption, ghost payroll, and everything going on in our community. And now that I'm trying to weed it out, they felt the need to remove me and put a puppet there because they felt they could control that individual. I was elected by the people a year ago, retaining 82% of the vote in the village of Dalton. So that's over half, y'all. So that means y'all wanted me as your mayor. When I say,
first of all, that's not true. Second of all, she said it like she did some big math. That's over half, y'all.
That every trick and negative thing in the book came out, it did. But one thing y'all should be.
Well, and since I'm talking, let me say this too. Looking back, when I hear her say, I cannot be bought, I cannot be bossed, and I won't back down to people that bully me, I understand now what she was talking about. Do I think Tiffany Henyard has used a lot of what she learned from Riley Rogers and been corrupt? Absolutely, yes. I also realized that while Riley Rogers was mayor, he was allowing a lot of things to happen in Dalton that was selling out the village, like the Dookie factory, like the $4 million loan for the water meters that never got installed and the money came up missing, $4,060,000. Like Class 8 business licenses to one main company, but not a whole bunch of other local businesses. Kind of squeezing out local businesses, not requiring certain organizations to get the proper permits for events. And like she said, ghost payroll. There was a whole lot of dirty stuff going on in Riley Rogers' administration with him and his administrators. And Trina Downs is helping to see both sides of that. And I'm grateful. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, I did that. But I understand what she's talking about now. I do believe that there is a point at which she was introduced the idea to give the village up and just let it be taken over by the state. And it was a choice that she was given, along with possibly some other options, some loans, some businesses, some things like that she could have partaken in, that she decided not to. But she is deciding to give those things over to her friends instead, which is just as corrupt. A bunch of no bid contracts is just as corrupt. It ain't one way or the other that's better. That's why I hope the state comes and takes over, because hashtag they all dirty. But I now understand a little bit more what she's talking about. So why didn't she get rid of the Dookie factory? Tiffany, why haven't you done that?
Be proud of with me is I did not bash anybody. I did not put out any bad literature. I didn't waste my money like that. I basically talked about the things that I truly do in our community.
What she's talking about now is the tactics that the Dalton trustees have used against her, which I personally have experienced. Talking up under your clothes, trying to find old shit on you that's flat and irrelevant. Hyping up old shit that don't even really matter and shit that ain't true. Or completely untrue shit. Shit you find standing behind lies. Creating and supporting live. I've seen all of them do it. Jason, Ed, Nikita, Valerie, Kiana, Brittany, Tammy, Vivian. Somebody hiding, but I figure out who you are. Mary. I've seen all of them do that. What she's talking about right now is the tactics because I've told you guys, and Shay has told you guys, and I think Burgundy Blue has also said, in all the time that we've been uncovering and exposing the corruption that Tiffany Henyard is, we've never come under attack like we have with these trustees. They are vicious, but they don't realize who I is. You think you vicious, baby. When Beyonce gave up Sasha Fierce, She had to go somewhere. And when you fuck with me, your own sins will punish you. Jason House, ain't you tired of getting caught on camera doing dumb shit with your pants down?
I showed you my work. I show what my work consists of, which is always putting on for my community and creating things for my community. So first, let's take you down memory lane. Yes, another one, because it's the best way to educate the public instead of just doing something. December 6th, if I'm not mistaken, was the date. I'm trying to find it. Nope, I don't see it. December 6th, the Board of Trustees basically came in and they put a referendum question on a agenda, like how today's an agenda. And they voted for 3 questions, which was one was the mechanism to remove myself or recall me as mayor. And the second one is to remove me as office. And that's why you saw 2 separate questions on the ballot. On December 8th, we took a vote and we had a special board meeting at 10 a.m. on that day to basically have a meeting to talk about removing me from office. I told them that wasn't right. I told them that was backdoorish, and they should not have done that because the people was not available to talk about it. When I say we had a secret meeting at 10 a.m., that meeting lasts from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I have a problem with that, and you should too. I also told the Board of Trustees, if it's good for me, it should be good for you. They did not act themselves in this recall. It was only for the mayor. So that's what you call dictatorship. And that's why I keep trying to explain to the residents what has happened. Next, fast forward. Here we are. The stuff came on the ballot and we went to court. When I say that judge, and I love this judge, Keith, what was the judge name? Carcuda? Judge Carcuda was dead on, and I'm going to release the transcripts.
You know good and goddamn well that ain't how you present. Yeah, you ever had a friend who couldn't talk so bad that you never corrected them?
Of what the judge did say. Do you remember word for word? No? You go speak in the mic. Because I want you to understand how fair this judge was when we went to court. I went to court and I said that the Board of Trustees was basically doing something that was unconstitutional, unethical as related to a recall. Normally when you hear about a recall, it's because someone done something wrong, like stole money, committed a crime. I haven't done any of those things. My recall is strictly because of dislike, people not getting along with their mayor. There's plenty of boards around the country, for that matter, that don't get along.
I know y'all don't really care to hear from her, me either. So let me just explain something else. Let me add another piece of information to this. Something else we learned from Trina Downs. Shout outs to Trina Downs. Bert Olderson, whose law firm facilitated this particular recall. For anybody who's new, either to this story or to my channel, and to the information that I'm presenting right now, let me just bring this stuff full circle. That's kind of why I'm jumping in as well. And shout out to everybody who's joining. Please hit the like. Please share this link in all your favorite groups, all your group chats or whatever. Bert Olderson facilitated this recall, and the reason why this recall was found to be illegal was because he instituted 2 different mechanisms in the same exact, referendum. So instead of having one referendum that asked the question, should there be a recall of Tiffany Henyard? And then allowing the people to vote on that, allowing maybe 20 or 40 days to go by, whatever the law states, and then having another referendum that states Tiffany Henyard, yes or no, an actual vote on the recall. Actually, the first question should have been, should there be a referendum or should there be a ballot, a vote? So you got to vote on the vote. Vote on whether or not you're going to vote to recall her. So there should have been one whole event where people came out and voted on whether or not there should even be a vote. Okay. Then there should have been a second event, which would have cost money and time and campaign energy and all that stuff. Yes. But that's what it would have taken. A second event that should have been at a later date where if people did vote to have the vote, where the vote was cast. Well, here's the fucking crazy part. Bert Olson and his team have fucked this up before. When Riley Roger wanted to make the water bill payable, wanted to make the water meters, hey Tracy, payable by the water bill, Tiffany Henyard, Robert Hunt, and I want to say Dwayne Muhammad, voted against it. Because those three voted against it, mind you, Valerie Stubbs voted for it. I believe at that time, Jason House was trustee, voted for it. Ed Steve voted for it, okay? The players we see now voted for it. But anyway, those three, I believe, voted against it. And Mayor Roger Riley tried to have them recalled using Bert Olson and his team. And the first time, I think it was in 2015, Bert Olson and his team failed for the same exact reason. Did you catch that? Failed for the same exact reason. So I don't understand why the trustees brought Olson back in to do the recall again when most of them knew he failed the first time. And for the same exact reason. That's where the taxpayers' money is being sorely wasted on this type of shit. And I've studied all the lawsuits between, not very deeply. I've done a really, like William Moore likes to say, a high-level search. I've done a high-level search on all the lawsuits between the trustees and the mayor, and they're all about power. They're not about ordinances that manage her spending or limit her spending. They're not about anything. They're not about the people being able to speak for longer than 3 minutes. They're not about the citizen's address where she doesn't say anything back. See where they're ignoring you? They're not about the fact that there has been no budget meeting and you haven't even seen a budget for fiscal 2025, yet you're in it, Dalton. They're all about little shit like that. It's all about power. And although all of them are corrupt. So there is no right or wrong in this situation. Because Tiffany Henyard wants the freedom to spend the money the way she wants, on herself if she wants to, on her staff for lunch or on the seniors instead of ignoring the teenagers or whatever. And the trustees want to be able to bring their own friends and businesses and permits and stuff in and through the village and run it like a hoe. That's why they all gotta go. Monkey bars.
Along with their boards, but keep their seats for their terms of 4 years. So once this judge, go ahead, Tony.
The judge's order, prior to issuing his order, the judge stated on the record for all parties that he believed it was simply unfair. That Mayor Henyard ran for office. She ran for office with the expectation of a 4-year term. That this regulation rule that permitted a recall was not in place at the time, and she wasn't allowed to consider that. And he said that she was a young woman who should be given an opportunity to serve out her full term. And then he found the referendum questions, both of them, the mechanism and the question on the recall, void and unenforceable.
Yes. So that's what happened on the first court. Then the second court date, the Board of Trustees tried to go back and redo it. You can speak to the second court date.
So an appeal was filed by the board. The appellate court took no position on the substance of it, said it was too short of a time to permit briefing and oral argument.
Hey,
the
Rosetta,
appellate court said with regard to the sequestering of all the votes that the county clerk shall post an unofficial tally of the votes so that we know how people voted, but that they wouldn't be effective until further order of the court. So the votes essentially are just listed for public information. They are not effective. This has to be briefed over the summertime, and there'll be an oral argument in the appellate court in September.
Okay. So I just wanted you guys to get an understanding of what's going on in our village, what has happened, and why me and the Board of Trustees are at odds. You see that they all left, right?
Brilliant. We'll check you out. Thank you for being here. I hope your dogs calm down. I know they said Tammy Brown's dog got a lie detector because it start barking whenever Tiffany Hilliard start talking. So I guess your dog got the same gift. Shout out to y'all.
But they're here for you. This is the only meeting that we have in July, but they left their post. We get elected to do a job, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, whether it's hard or ugly. We're supposed to stand here and stand the course. So just
why is she so mad though? You ever seen, because like most of us grew out of the stage. You remember when we were little, we wouldn't get our way. We'd be most of us eventually realized that we had to deal with shit as it came, and we weren't always gonna get our way. But look at her. Why is she so mad? Because they adjourned the meeting. What about that angers her so much? They paid the bill. That's all that usually matters to her. She cannot handle losing control. Mad Dog 2020, honey. A little 2020. Listen. That's her mama and her best friend back there clapping. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you. Spoiler alert, that's her mama and her big belly best friend back there clapping.
Just know what you did elect. It is seats that will be up in September. So y'all make sure y'all remember those people so that you can remove them from office, how they tried to take your voice of 82% and take me out of office without your say-so. That's what they tried to do, guys.
Please allow me to remind you that there is another election in September, unless the state is actually already taken over, because you ain't even really heard nobody talk about that for real. But keep in mind, there is another election in September. So all the things that are coming out will all be on the record. And we will see it all, and you can vote no for Jason House. For real, I really don't think these trustees should be in there. I would love to see a new band of trustees. Brittany Norwood, we might hold on to your spot. You just got to come out and talk about what happened the other night.
And I just wanted you to hear from the attorney what happened and what are our next step. So now I need you more than ever to take a stance with your mayor to make sure you tell the trustees that you will not stand for a recall and you will not have your mayor removed from office because you want her here.
Charlotte.
So next, let's talk about the real issues at hand. Everybody want to talk about money, but they ain't telling you this. They spent over $150,000 in counting. I'm pretty sure we're going to get at $500,000 with Burt Otison's law firm group that could have been used for the following. Now, this hasn't been budgeted for. Everybody talk about.
Now, as we watch the rest of this meeting, I want you to ask yourself, if you were a trustee, is any of this important to you?
Budget, and you should have did it the right way. They didn't do this the right way. They basically spent $150,000 of your money without your say so. It could have went towards 3 paved alleys. It could have went to 1 street resurfacing project, 50 sidewalk projects, 30 driveways could have been fixed. Trees could have been trimmed across the entire west side of Dalton. We could have had 2 new police officers with new salaries, 15 new street lights, a half-mile stretch of new water mains, 20.
Wait a minute. If $150,000 could have cut all the trees across the west side, how come we getting bills for $450,000? Am I the only one wondering? So we getting bills. We got about $1 million in tree cutting bills. But they could have been cut for the $150,000 that the trustees spent on the recall. Thank you for admitting that. Thank you for bringing that up, Tiffany Hilliard.
2 new roofs. $30K could have went out to you guys for taxes. A tax rebate could have went throughout our community.
Should have did it.
25 demos for homes throughout Dalton. 3 brand new playgrounds on that Greenwood project could have been done. The skate park, the basketball court, which the basketball courts I'm working on right now. I have a lot of people that's donating for that will come into fruition this year. Matter of fact, this month. So stay tuned for that. And again, these are things that could have been done, but yet they spent the money on personal issues, attacking instead of working together. So when people ask me to work with the trustees, it goes both ways. We both must work together. And until we can find a happy medium, guys, it's time to re-elect trustees. Just remember that. But one thing I will.
Now, y'all heard all that stuff Stacey said they did. But if the trustees had just not done a recall, they could have hired somebody to do all that same stuff. Because they already do. I don't know what Public Works does besides.
Let's say about Trustee Holmes. Trustee Holmes is the only one that a lot of people thought was going to be bitter, vindictive, backstabbing. The only one that actually stood with me and is still here, standing his ground. All them people that said those things about him, this man has done nothing but welcome me with graciousness and basically help me with any project that I've tried to create for the Village of Dawn. So y'all remember that, because he did run against me for mayor, and guess what? We've been the best of friends, shockingly. Thank you, Drew. Trustee Holmes.
Now let me clear up a whole bunch of shit. They couldn't stand each other. She had him by the balls and he had her by the coochie hairs. Okay? They were a political relationship.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Be recognized.
Yes, go ahead.
The best of
First
friends.
and foremost, I'm going to say this. I work with any and everybody.
Good.
But when I see you hurting the peoples, then it's time for me to distance myself from you. I ran to help people. Can't do it all by myself.
What was he writing?
And I applaud each and every man, even if some that are standing in here. Because there's so much crime throughout this city, throughout.
I just figured something out. Andrew Holmes don't be writing shit. I guarantee you, whatever paper is in front of him is full of little squiggly lines. He nigga be trying to make himself look busy. I'm sorry, y'all.
It all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I applaud each and every man, even if some that are standing in here. Because there's so much crime throughout this city, throughout this village. It's been a lot of the men in the Dalton have not been recognized because, see, they're not having it on their block. And they've been the first ones to stand up and address that issue on their block.
Let me give y'all a heads up. He ain't talking about shit. Go get a drink.
But I've seen so much here in this village since I've been a trustee. And excuse my language. It's a damn shame that trustees that was here before me, bickering and fighting with Riley the same way. And I say this and I mean it. But you same ones that was bickering and fighting, not worrying about tax people dollars, but you in the same damn room right now, trying to destroy this village now. You couldn't get in a room when he was mayor. You wouldn't go. But now you all get in the same room and try to destroy this village and try to put venom and let this village bleed.
Yep.
Until I see wrong, then I'll step away. But I'm going to stand as long as it's right. When I see more women lose their job with this last administration, more women had lost their jobs, forced out of here. Some are relocated with the help of the FBI in other states until they can continue this investigation.
Excuse me, I like out of TV. I think he was deciding whether or not he was going to cry this time. Because sometimes, you notice they get real quiet. He's a very manipulative person. He get real quiet. He act like he gonna cry. You know, he a light-skinned black man. You know, we understand light-skinned black men. They cry a lot. So. Oh, this was before Vegas, James. This was actually about a year before Vegas. Let me just explain this to people outside our community. No shade. But we know, and I think a lot of them old women got a thing for Drew too. I don't get it, but we know that light-skinned men tend to cry a lot, i.e. Drake. And I think the only dark-skinned man that does cry a lot is maybe Baby, but you know, he's Baby. But they don't know if he's gonna cry or not. He's deciding whether or not he's gonna use that. Because we've seen him before, right? Where he got so upset he needed a peppermint. Remember? He got upset. He got mad. He was pissed because the trustees wouldn't approve something. And he got so mad he opened up a peppermint sucking in his mouth. You old manipulator. We see you.
Investigation and get to the point where they have to make some arrests because of so much money that have been stolen in this village. And I say that from the past trustees to the last mayor. I ran against him because I seen things that wasn't right. It wasn't that I hate that man. There were things that wasn't right. And there are things that had need to be changed. People forced out of their job. Police department, police is in Dalton. Couldn't talk to me because you were dictating them not to talk to me because you wanted to hide the crime that was in this village. And I didn't want to hide it. I go to the media, I put it out because I feel they should know one way or another whether you put it out or not, because they can get shot if it's not out there. Police are scared to talk to me. That was in Dalton because of this crime, because you know why? They had a family and they had a job.
You want me to?
And for you.
Y'all want me to fast forward through Andrew Holmes, or you want to hear what he got to say? I'm going to put it up for a vote. This is a democracy, not a republic. So let me put it up for a vote. Y'all want me to skip past him? Because I can. I could skip right to the next juicy part if you want me to. Yes. Amanda said don't. Victoria said, I'm sorry, Amanda. The majority ruled and said fast forward, honey. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. We gonna skip to... Well, you know, we got to hear Trina Downs. This was back when Trina Downs was still being very kind and very...
I'm a grown man. You're not going to tell
somebody. And I've been called
to do this.
I didn't mean it.
Look at my big cousin on the screen looking pretty.
Trina Downs was like,
Okay.
I will fuck you up.
You got 3 minutes. Chief, you got it, Chief Collins?
Like Trina Downs.
Okay. Yes, any resident that would like to address, I guess, me and Trustee Holmes and the clerk, by all means, come on up.
Don't she look so pretty? Ooh.
If you haven't learned, you know, one thing I like to do on this channel and some of us other YouTubers like to do is we like to introduce the players of what's happening in Dalton. This woman that you're about to see on camera is definitely a player. She is so heavily involved and so knowledgeable about what's going on in Dalton. She's a homeowner in Dalton. She bought her house with cash, bitch. And she's been experiencing some issues with her water bill. She's had bills where there's no numbers as to the amount of water she used. Zero consumption. Thank you, Trina, for giving me that. Zero consumption, yet a huge water bill. She found out, excuse me, she found out that, now y'all know Rosetta here, she don't play about them thumbs up. She don't play about them likes. She better run them likes when Rosetta's here. I love it. I love it. I let her have thug moderators because I'd be scared to ask. I love it. But Trina Downs is actually suing, I believe, the entire village of Dalton in federal court, if I understand correctly. And she's operating pro se. She's representing herself.
Excuse me, let me update that. Hear ye. Trina Downs, that's all wrapped up. That's all done. She won. Sure did. It was over FOIA request for more information. She wanted to know how much the recall cost. She wanted the bills on the recall. And the trustees, she's both FOIA'd the trustees, she's FOIA'd the village. And if you have a Pacer account, you want to go ahead and take a look at that lawsuit. She ain't no joke. She's an extremely bright woman who has held the mayor accountable at every single chance. Remember what I used to say, like, is that the same person who's on camera that is in the chat? Because I would see these chats and then the chat would end when she'd go on camera. Yes, that is the same person. Shout out to Trina Downs, y'all. If y'all see Trina Downs in these YouTube streets, send her your love. One thing that happened to me on Sunday was I was just chilling, minding my business. You know, I started to look around and I couldn't believe this. I'm just playing. I was minding my business and Trina Downs passed through my mind. And I just pray for her strength, because a lot of people don't realize that when you are in a place where you are as oppressed as the people of Dolton are, somebody said, don't get your pressure up, man. That's what I thought about, a pressure pot, you know, what I'm trying to talk about. And that thing, you know, that top is going to pop eventually. So I pray, because I know that these are very strong and very intelligent people who are holding their peace, who won't hold their peace much longer, unfortunately.
Sure
that is what it is. Ain't nothing we can do.
Civil rights.
Thank you, Amanda. Let's continue. Let's hear
I'm going to start with the $750.
Wait a minute.
Hold on,
I'm sorry.
And I feel like
Wait a minute, baby. Hold on. I want to see in the chat. I want to welcome in the chat. If you guys could put your favorite Trina Downs quote in the chat. She said, I didn't know. I know because you told me. Trina said, buy me low thin. Wait, my favorite Trina Downs quote is the face she gave Robert. What's that man's name? Paul Roberts with a Z. When he literally asked her, after she'd been locked out of board meetings for 3 months in a row, this man had the nerve to ask her if she could read his speech during her time to speak, because what he had to say was more important than what she had to say, apparently. Trina Downs stood outside the building and she said, civil rights violation. She said, pack your shit. It's time to go. I love it. I love it. What is your favorite?
it's highly inappropriate after seeing what happened today. And so I'll be looking forward to court on the 7th about that $750 ticket. Also, I FOIA'd the clerk on May 18th around that day for the attorney fee for the trustees, and I wasn't getting my FOIA. But the House put into record over $70,000 in invoices for attorney fees. So I would like to speak with you later about why I hadn't received that FOIA when that information had been readily available. Also, on the recall, so people can call in and attend the Zoom for court so that we won't have to listen to secondhand information about what's going on in court regarding this recall. It's still in court. It hasn't been decided, and there's still upcoming court dates. I will be passing this information out. Also, I would like the fire hydrants fixed in my area, especially after seeing what went on the 4th. We definitely need fire hydrants and not just water on the engines. And I want the bus towed over there on 100.
So she only got 3 minutes. So let me repeat what she just said. Most of the fire hydrants in Dolton do not work. The fire department is literally dependent on the water that's on the engine to fight any fire they go to, because very randomly and an overwhelming majority of the fire hydrants in Dolton do not work. Andrew Holmes showed us where one was kicked out the ground. That's Dolton. Dolton is a ghetto. Dolton is not ghetto. Dolton is a ghetto. True.
And so if there's a fire in Dalton, and the crazy fucked up thing about it is they're still ticketing people for parking in front of fire hydrants, even though those fire hydrants obviously don't work.
51st and Everest, it's in public property. It's been there 2 years and it's rotting. And I've been calling the police since May 18th or 19th, and I was like, oh, they said 10 days. It's been 2 months. And so, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Good job, Trina.
Now, she didn't mention them burning Dookie in the city this time. Every time she said that shit, she catch me off guard. I'd be ready for her to say it, and then she still. But no, this was back when she was just being nice, really quick, really simple. But we heard her speak at the township meeting this last week when she said, people have been saying for over a year that Andrew Holmes was they used to say no means no Andrew Holmes in the Facebook on Dalton Politics, but they didn't know what it meant. They didn't know he was, they say Andrew Holmes still walking around town. That's what the last one said too, Valerie. Can I hit it twice? Not for free. Just playing. Let's see. Let's continue with the citizens' address. This meeting is not much longer.
Good evening, Madam Mayor.
I'm gonna skip through this, guys.
The issues that you do.
I want you to hear
saw in
this
Highland
though, because you heard when Tiffany Henyard said something to Kiana Belcher about her and her boss trying to muscle her. Who was at AutoZone today? Andrew Holmes was at AutoZone today? I don't understand. Maybe it's the Chicago thing. They just let rapists and child molesters walk around. I don't know. But this particular man owns some property across the street. He's trying to do what he's supposed to do. And he's going, watch how he plays nice with Tiffany. And then he has to eventually go ahead and let loose the drag.
How you doing now? I'm a business owner and I own probably multiple homes in Dalton right now as well. I purchased the buildings across the street with the new windows for a cigar lounge. Also purchased the restaurant, the old barbecue house, and the corner lot as well.
Oh,
the old
shit, what
antique
am I
spot.
thinking? Hold on, wait a fucking minute. I just realized that. So Hiram Speaks is here, y'all. Take a second, go over and subscribe to Hiram Speaks, because, you know, sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. And Hiram Speaks on it is about to pop out. I'm rubbing my hands together, getting that good energy together, getting ready. Because I know it's some good stuff about to come out of that channel. So I would hate for you to be the last to know about it. That would be really crazy. So go on over there and subscribe to his channel. Give him some good energy so he can go ahead and release that thing that he got going on over there. I look forward to it too.
Plan was to put a cigar lounge there. That's what we started the rehab. From $600,000 in, and we paid our taxes in Active Village for no fines. Not a dime. My problem is when I came up here to get a permit, I was told that my permit was denied. Don't know what reason. Followed all the procedures, filled out the proper paperwork. Came back in, I was asked to speak to you. Instead, I got the young man right here, Keith. He told my contractor that we were still in lights. Had my lawyer call ComEd, that was false information. Second thing that I did as well was we also contacted my lawyer as well as far as the ordinance that you guys gave me saying that I couldn't have a cigar lounge in the city of Dalton. We went back and my lawyer looked at the videotape saying that ordinance that I received from the young lady that works here, it was falsified documents. All I'm asking now, I pay my taxes, all my properties here, taxes I paid up. I'm $100,000 in taxes over a year in Dalton, not counting my businesses. All I want to know is why I can't get a permit to finish rehabbing across the street. We the only business on this block with new windows. We doing fully gut rehab. We pay cash for every location. Never asked a dime from Dalton at all. We didn't ask for no evasive anything, and we still keep getting denied. Instead of using the contract that I usually use, we the old inspector that.
And shout out to everybody who is in the bushes. I appreciate you. I thank you for being here. Thanks for letting me be part of whatever you're doing.
Why is that being done? And that's other things that we can't talk about on a one-on-one basis. I would never, ever disrespect you or throw you under the bus. We didn't have words before. Wasn't in a form like this. I would never put that out there. But all I want to know is how do I move forward with my business? That's all I want to know. So do I have to schedule another meeting besides without this guy right here? But have a meeting with you, with my lawyer, you have your lawyer. I do not want to meet with this man Keith at all.
Thank you.
At all.
Okay, so we'll talk off record, meaning you just told on yourself the issues you have.
Yep.
So I can't say because that's in litigations, the issues that you do have.
Correct.
So
but there's no
I can't
issue.
speak to that right now.
But the issue was with this guy. It wasn't even with you.
Okay.
But since we want to put
but I'm saying it's you in litigation, so you can't discuss that.
No, he said I got 30 seconds. One of the trustees worked for me, Mrs. Belcher. Since Ms. Belcher worked for me, I was told to fire Ms. Belcher in order to get my business open. I refused to fire Ms. Belcher to keep in order to get.
He was trying to be nice. He said we could talk one-on-one. I would never disrespect you. It's the stuff you said that I would never say you said. This bitch, Jessie Smouillet'd her way out of him covering it for her. You remember when the city of was it Chicago, let Jessie Smouillet off, and he was like, yeah, take that, city of Chicago, you unjust motherfuckers. And they was like, come on back, because we gave you a goddamn pass, but you want to talk shit. See, now I got to cut you. And that's exactly what he had to be. You can't. I'm telling you. Amanda, I'm raising one. I'm telling you. I love everything about her, but I tell her all the time, honey, you do not respect kindness. You take kindness for weakness. I got to be like hood thug gangster for you to respect my authority. I'm telling you, they do not take kindness for any type of strength. Yes, Juicy Smouillet, absolutely. You remember? Shit, he talks all that goddamn shit. Now is he back locked up again? I don't know. But he tried to
Get my business.
I do get people for defamation.
His lawyer has it on video.
Character, so have some truth in that. Go ahead.
With anybody. Definitely.
All right, y'all. So before we get into the very next video that we are going to look at together, it's the picture of Stephen A. Smith for me. I want to let you know what we're going to look at today. We're at this point. And thank you guys for watching that replay with me. That is a replay that you will only be able to see on Patreon. That is one of the very most popular episodes on the YouTube channel. And so I thought it'd be a great idea to bring it back up and put it on Patreon so that our new Patreon breakdown crew can see some of the old stuff they might have missed back in the day exclusively, because you deserve it. If you just joined the breakdown, which is everybody, because breakdown is not very long been on Patreon. But if you've joined the breakdown, you most likely have never seen that episode if you joined on Patreon recently. So hopefully all that was new to you. I know James was there, obviously. Thank you so much for still rocking with me since then. And you've been here for a long time, James. Thank you so much for your loyalty to the channel. Because you be there when we be at the zoo and shit too. So I appreciate it. So let's take a look at this next episode from the Real Late Night Crew. I believe this episode is in the breakdown playlist. But most of y'all, or most of us, are late night crew anyway. So we late night crew anyway. Oh, good, Andrea. That was your first time seeing it. Well, you on Patreon too, so you can jump over there. It was just posted today, so you can jump over there and see anything you might have missed. Okay. You'll actually be able to watch this whole live on Patreon too, which is really cool. So anyway, let's jump in here. And the very first video we're going to watch a piece of a video. And I wasn't going to talk about this. I had actually made a video about this yesterday. And then my device lost power and died because it was going to. And so I didn't finish the video. And then I made a second video about a later part of the video, and it had a really weird echo. So I felt like that was me telling me not to do anything right now. And then I said, no, let me go ahead and address it, because why not? That's the great thing about being God. You could just make some choices and make some decisions. Hiram, if there's anything you need to know on Patreon, let me know. You know how to reach out to me. So I'm happy to walk you through it, whatever. Just help. I'm happy to help. Patreon is not the easiest one to navigate sometimes. It doesn't come with like any tutorials. It's not like any other platform you are on at all. I will say that. It is unlike any other platform you're on. And that was why I chose it, because it is that great. We can do so many things on Patreon together. We've done one-on-ones on Patreon where we get to come on here and on StreamYard together and dig into a question that you might have, or just some conversation, getting to know me, or a tarot reading or whatever. We also have a 24/7 group chat on Patreon where we can have our own conversations and not worry